Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the page, be sure to give us a like and a sub so you don't miss any of the content that we have coming out. And today we're going to be diving into The Flash, issue number 755. And you guys, I have to tell you, I am so freaking excited. I just got done finishing reading this and it is freaking awesome. So without further ado, let's begin this comic. So in the opening pages, we see Barry really having some inner monologue to himself. And it's about not being able to live up to this legend that everybody sees him as, specifically on days like today. Now in the last issue, Paradox had gotten to the point where he was essentially about to wipe everything from reality. And this is exactly where it picks us up at. And so we see everybody together, and Thawne and Barry are trying to get out of there before Paradox just kills them all. And almost in an instant, they arrive at Paradox's pocket dimension, his little realm outside of reality. And immediately Barry thinks that this is something due to the Reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne had to have had something to do with this, because he always does. He's always that guy. And August breaks them up and tells them to look up into the sky. And what they see is essentially a time storm. And the Reverse Flash tells Barry, like, you need to let me stop him. He calls himself the master of time, of manipulating time, and that Barry just needs him to let him do what needs to be done, and that's kill Paradox. In the middle of this conversation, Paradox arrives, and Paradox tells them that they've lost, that it's futile, they need to just give up all hope. And he blames Barry for everything, for being trapped there, for losing his family. He sees him as the devil reincarnated. And this is where we see both August and Thawne stick up for Barry. The Reverse Flash tells Paradox pretty much that he's tried breaking Barry in every single way possible, and he always has hope. And August tells him that, no matter what his sins have done, Barry's always there to help him. Always there to give a lending hand. He is the hero. And this is where we see something really freaking awesome that I absolutely love. We see Godspeed, Reverse Flash, and the Flash all teaming up to try to take on Paradox. That just goes to show the level that Paradox is, the level that he has. It's absolutely astronomical. And in the middle of all this, Barry tells Thawne that he needs to go back in time. He needs to go back and save Paradox, Chris, and he needs to save him before he turns into Paradox. And so as Thawne speeds off, both August and Barry try to take, or at least hold off Paradox until this can happen. And as the Reverse Flash shows up in the past, Barry and the Turtle are fighting, and Thawne really contemplates how it could be so easy. He could just easily vibrate his hand right through his chest and this could all end right now. But then he asks himself, what would the Flash do? And it just goes to show the kind of person that Thawne is. Like, he really does want to be the hero. He wants to not live in the shadow of Flash. He wants to be his hero, his idol. And so you have small moments like this where you see the humanity in him, you see the hero in him. And as the Reverse Flash saves him, we see Paradox in the future with Barry starting to disappear until he is pretty much non-existent and erased from the timeline. But in doing this, the little pocket dimension is also being erased from existence. And so August and Barry are trying to run out of this, but they just can't seem to get the speed. And this is where we see Thawne show up. And they essentially are mixing the negative speed force and the positive speed force. And they're mixing them together to get enough power to be able to break through this. And as they're running, they're seeing the timeline repair itself. History is literally fixing itself as they run. And they show up in present time, and everything seems to be relatively back in place. It seems to be exactly where it should be. And as Barry races off to see Iris, August and Reverse Flash have a conversation. And he talks about how they're not that different, but he does know the Reverse Flash is from the future, so he asks the question that he's been looking for so long. And he asks Reverse Flash, do you know who killed my brother? And then we see the Reverse Flash say that he is the one that killed Godspeed's brother and then breaks Godspeed's neck, or at least appears to break Godspeed's neck. And as Barry races over there to catch August before he falls on the ground, holding his body, Reverse Flash, like usual, just mocks him and tells him how he just needs to run off and go get his little Flash family, because that's what he does every time. Every time he shows up, he hurts Barry somehow, and Barry gets his Flash family. And they always come and chase him down and they do the whole shebang. But this time is going to be different, because Thawne is creating his own family. He is creating a Reverse Flash family. And this is where we see the rise of the Legion of Zoom. and that is where this issue will end. I am absolutely loving this. I cannot wait for a Reverse Flash family. That is going to be absolutely amazing. You know, it just goes to show the Reverse Flash really just does everything that Barry does. He wants everything that Barry has. He wants to take everything that Barry has, and he copies literally everything Barry does. It's just a surprise that this honestly hasn't happened sooner. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you haven't, please be sure to like and sub to the page, and until the next video.